Everyone, welcome to It's Open Source blog number 3. My name is Jay Sable. I'm the founder of One Community, and I created this YouTube channel to share open source information that might be a little outside of like what One Community is doing. One Community is creating the open source blueprints for a sustainable civilization. Technically, everything falls underneath that umbrella, but I figured it was a good idea to create a separate open source channel to talk about stuff like this. And today what I wanted to talk about is what I've learned about internet marketing in the process of creating 3 websites for One Community, a Facebook fan page, a Dig account, a Reddit account, and accessing 20 social networks simultaneously to share our information and getting it out there, and what's happened in that process, like what I've learned. And so that's what this video is about, is just it's really about the value of quality content and providing value to people, providing information that people want, and like the human psychology of looking at information that has become clear in this process for me. So the first website that we created was onecommunityranch.com, and you can take a look at it. Actually you can validate and verify everything I'm saying by looking at our process. And same thing with the videos. Like right now I'm going to create new videos for the website, but if you go to ATECJAE, ATECJAE is our other YouTube channel, you can see the original videos for One Community, and those videos and the original website onecommunityranch.com is a great indicator of where we started with this process. And the idea with that was, and what you'll see in the energy, that is like, hey, we've got this idea for a new way of living, fulfilled and like really living for life, really investing our time and our energy in the things that make us feel most alive and vibrant and that we're most passionate about. And this model for creating that founded on self-sufficiency and sustainability. And so the first way that I put that out was like, hey, One Community is a new way of living and an idea for living for life. And it was like, one community this, one community this is what One Community is all about. We're creating one community, and that's great. And you see that in a lot of advertising out there, like, our product is the best, this is what we're doing. And that's amazing because the people that are putting that message out there are doing it from a really pure place of wanting to help, wanting to create something better, wanting to provide quality. What was interesting was the evolution of that for us, and what I noticed in sharing those pages through Facebook was probably the biggest indicator. Was I found that if I put out something that was like, that would say, One Community is committed to open source creation and sharing everything that we do for free, and creating the open source blueprint of a sustainable civilization. That's true. That's completely true. That's what One Community is all about. And I would put that on Facebook, and I would look at the number of people that would view that. I would look at how much time people would spend on that page and how much visitation that page would get. And the numbers were okay. What was interesting is I took the same message, and instead of saying One Community is doing this, said open source information sharing is the key to the future of frictionless innovation and collaboration. Now what I'm saying is, rather than saying, hey, One Community is doing this, instead I'm saying, this is what needs to happen. And it's implied, it's obvious that we're doing this, otherwise we wouldn't be investing all this time and energy talking about how important it is. What's useful about that is the response is completely different. And the way that people interact with the information is completely different. The number of people that visit and share that kind of information is massively higher. And so the whole point of this video is I wanted to share that piece right there. I think is really useful. Is if our goal is to share open source information, the whole point of open source information is non-ownership. It's like, hey, I've got this great idea and I'm going to deliver it as free information. You can take it, you can market it as it is, you can change it, you can evolve it, you can make it something different. Whatever it is that you want to do, like here's great information. Do what works best with it for you. There's a very big difference between that message and the message of, this is my information and it's whatever you want to do with it, but this is my idea, this is what I did. Do you feel the difference in that? Like, both are open source, both are free for people to use, but one is like, hey, I'm presenting it as just a good idea, and the other one is I'm taking ownership and presenting it as my idea. And that little piece right there is huge. And I think that I guess I'm making this video blog to promote the idea of quality information, of delivering our message, everybody's message, as open source content that is like, hey, here's open source information, take it as a platform to build from. I'm not saying it's mine, I'm saying that it's just a good idea. And if you want to do something with that, great. If you don't, don't. But here's what I see as the future of open source information sharing. Here's what I see as the future of sustainability. And I'm not going to say it as one community is creating sustainability in the format of blah, blah, blah. Instead, I'm going to do my best to frame it as, hey, the future of sustainability is blah, 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 blah. Sustainability is good for the entire planet, and one way of achieving a sustainable world is XYZ. That's it. And that's the process that we've been through. There's a couple places where you need to deviate from that, which is, in the philosophy of one community. Obviously I'm talking about the philosophy of one community, and it may still be an evolution I'm going through of understanding, like, hey, even that philosophy should be framed without one community in it. Instead, it should be, these things make sense. Like the ideas of Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and the Dalai Lama of acceptance and love and freedom for everybody, the creative minds of Steiner and Buckminster Fuller and, Eckhart Tolle, reflecting on the ego and consciousness, and Neil Donald Walsh, like, these ideas just make sense. Maybe that is the way. Right now we're saying, hey, in the spirit of these folks, one community is doing this. And so we have created kind of a designation between, there's certain aspects of one community, like this is our pledge to certain values, this is us, and it's still open source information that people can use however we want, but we're committing to this. And maybe that's the difference, and I'm kind of just sorting it out right now in my head, thinking about it and talking about it, is in general the idea is like, hey, here's a great idea, it's open source, this is the direction that the world needs to move, and here's the specifics of how we're doing it. And in those pages of the newer websites, onecommunityranch.org, sustainabilitynonprofit.org, those two websites that were evolutions of the original onecommunityranch.com, that's the vibe that we started communicating. And what we saw in our website traffic, what we saw in sharing of our information and people liking our information, and basically saying, hey, we agree with this, was a huge, huge increase. And I, for one, would love to see that in all advertising. Like I like my advertising, I like ideas to be delivered to me in a way that I can evaluate them and say, yeah, that works for me, as opposed to, hey, this is the way that it has to be done and this is what we're doing. And I guess that works too. I believe that maybe there's even a better way. And so that's what this video is about. Gonna wrap up. I hope that helps. If you like what I have to say, if this is interesting, if you want to help the One Community Project, check out our YouTube channel Just for One Community, which is onecommunity.org. Also, One Community, One Future. Like this video is also really helpful. And yeah, we'll be putting out more open source content as it becomes available. Hope it was helpful. Thanks. Much love. Have a good one.